Well, it was a chance to work with Bill Condon, whom I admire greatly, who wrote and directed Gods and Monsters, which I thought was one of the better films I had seen, about 5 years ago. And I thought Kinsey was a very, very interesting man, a pioneer spirit, someone who wanted to better mankind by supplying knowledge because he saw a gap in knowledge, that knowledge being human sexuality, of what we do with each other and to each other.
How do you see the character? Because in some people certainly think he's a controversial character. What would you say to critics who say, perhaps you're making a hero out of him in this movie?
The movie is not making a hero. We're showing warts and all. We're showing the man, the research he got up to, with his limitations. But he was a superb, supreme scientist. That's not to put him on a pedestal. He was most certainly controversial.
Very important, and it was groundbreaking, and people are still terrified of hearing it now, which is, I think is the answer to your question. That people are still frightened of this stuff, and that's why they want to do it now. People are always frightened of knowledge, of knowing more. There are some people who'd much rather close the doors and be cozy in their, homespun opinions that make them feel safe.
It's true. I mean, this film was obviously set during the 40s and 50s. What is it about it now that's going to make it resonate today?
Oh, I think look at the world around us, if sexuality is still such a huge can of worms. And
it's controversial.
And people are still full of prejudice and ignorance. There were a bunch of things I didn't know till I saw this movie. I was like, oh, I thought I knew.
Finally, if I can ask, this is you have played real-life characters before a few times. Is that sheer coincidence, or is something about those characters that really appeals?
They're usually the best scripts I've read. It's just a coincidence they happen to be about people who have lived or affected society in some way, but I'm proud to have done it.
Today is the 10th death anniversary of English actress Natasha Jane Richardson. People mainly remember her as the mom from the Parent Trap movie with Lindsay Lohan. She began her career in theater. 2009 was a horrible year, including a lot of people dropping like flies, like family members, also people like Natasha Richardson, of course, B. Arthur, Farrah Fawcett, and Michael Jackson on the same day on June 25th, 10 years ago, Billy Mays, John Hughes, Patrick Swayze, Brittany Murphy, etc. It was crazy. And it's hard to believe that 10 years later, it's already 2019. On March 16, 2009, Natasha sustained a head injury when she fell while taking a beginner skiing lesson at the Mont Tremblant Resort, 80 miles from Montreal to Quebec. She was flown to the Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City, but she died on March 18, 2009, 2 days later from an epidural hematoma. And that is basically when bleeding occurs between the tough outer membrane covering the brain and skull. There is often a loss of consciousness following a head injury, a brief regaining of consciousness, then loss of consciousness again. Other symptoms include headache, confusion, vomiting, and inability to move parts of the body. Now, when this injury happened, apparently Natasha did not wear a helmet. And I'm guessing that maybe she was taking skiing lessons where she wasn't like too high or whatever. She's probably like on the lower area. But whether she was high or low, it's very important to still wear a helmet regardless, because anything can happen. Apparently she felt fine. She was in a good mood. She was laughing. But an hour later, she experienced a headache. See? She experienced one of them symptoms from epidural hematoma. One of the symptoms is getting a headache, and that's what she had. Natasha was 45 when she died, just 2 months before her 46th birthday. She would be 55 going on 56 in May. She had a private funeral 4 days after her death on March 22nd, where she was buried next to her maternal grandmother, Rachel Kempson, in the churchyard. Natasha's aunt, actress Lynn Redgrave, died a year later and is buried in the same churchyard with Natasha and Rachel Kempson. She is also the daughter of actress Vanessa Redgrave. Natasha helped raise millions of dollars in the fight against AIDS since her father died of AIDS-related causes in 1991. She was also a longtime smoker but quit, as she was an outspoken critic of the ban on smoking in New York restaurants. She seemed like a very nice woman. She was and is gorgeous, simply beautiful woman with a nice, beautiful smile, pretty eyes, and that accent of hers. Oh my God. At the beginning of this video, oh my God, I am in love with her accent. Okay, I could hear her talk for days with that accent. My goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'd like to add one more heartfelt one by saying how thrilled we are to be here this evening in the Roundabout Theatre Company's new home. I feel particularly grateful to the Roundabout, not just because of their commitment to presenting classic theatre such as tonight's sparkling, light-hearted romp The Man Who Came to Dinner, but more personally because Liam and I made our New York stage debuts and met for the first time during their 1993 production of Eugene O'Neill's Anna Christie.
Natasha and actor Liam Neeson were married since 1994, raising two sons, Michael, born 1995, and Daniel, born 1996. They were married for 15 years, from 1994 until the day she was gone. So it would have been 25 years since they've been married. Liam Neeson donated her organs after she died. Her heart, kidneys, and liver, keeping 3 people alive. I know Liam Neeson misses her every single day. You see the way she looks at him? You can tell she loved him. He loves her, I know that's for sure. She's looking at him like she's proud of him. You know, it's very sad and unfortunate what happened to Natasha Richardson. Totally sucks that a beautiful woman like her died so tragically. It's not fair, man. They say life isn't fair, but sometimes, especially when it comes to people like her, it should. I wish she was still around, being with Liam Neeson, continuing to share their love for one another. I also wish she was still around to see her sons all grown up. If she was alive right now, I'm sure she would still have a successful career like she did before she died. Rest in peace, Natasha Richardson. You are missed, and you will always be missed. Tell me your thoughts on Natasha Richardson, your memories of her. Tell me where you were when she passed away on March 18th, 2009. I was what, 18? Yeah, I was 18 at the time when she passed away. All right, see you later.
Just do it, do it now.
Yes, exactly.
Don't say tomorrow. Don't think that I'll always have time to do that.
No, because you just know.
You never know.
You know, so many, I've had so many people that I've known this summer who've, just died before their time, and it's so precious. You've got to live it every day.